23 verse. Sometimes when the night finds me, I welcome its solitude with open arms. A loner, perhaps, but only because there is no one else like me. The dreams, the visions, the desires that I alone experience as if by masturbation of the soul. The climax that I can never feel with anyone else, and yet I fail myself by trying anyway. It's funny that love often comes like a thief in broad daylight. It's cunning, it's sly, often bold. You never expect it, and sometimes you always end up feeling a little violated. And what does it matter that it's to be shared unconditionally when the whole damn experience is based on conditions? Conditions of the heart, of the body, of the spirit. Honesty, loyalty, faithfulness, security, friendship, commitment, and even lust. Conditions, conditions, conditions. Damn those conditions. So sometimes when the day finds me, I welcome its brilliance with open arms. A dreamer, perhaps, but only because reality is filled with so much pain. The pain of wandering and searching for love, wanting and needing to be loved. And by whom? For whom? I know not. I only know that I'm lonely in this cell called love, and yet I still don't wish to be released. Heartbreak comes in many forms. Whether it is a result of malice or ignorance, it all hurts the same. But somehow the people you love can hurt you more than anybody. Reflecting back on the past few years, my life had taken on a drastic change, and the relationship between Sissy and I were no exception. Like most puppy love affairs, it sizzled hot for a moment and eventually began to reveal itself for the short chapter in our lives that it truly was. Sex had only complicated our erratic relationship. Sissy, ever the rebel, just couldn't understand why I couldn't commit seriously to an outright lesbian union. Why I couldn't live with the hers and hers tab. A far cry from years before when her sexual escapades with women were deemed as recreational as the drugs she used. Despite my protests and valid explanations, she continued to pressure me to move in with her. She wanted me to stand on a mountaintop and shout to the world of my undying love. I couldn't do it. The guilt of hurting my mother outweighed any feelings of pleasure I felt in those heated moments with her. As a friend, she should have understood that, but she didn't or wouldn't give that sense of space or comprehension. The thought of shame of embarrassing her family never occurred to her because they simply weren't involved enough with each other to give a damn either way. Short of being caught with a sheep in his bed, her father's morals was always questionable. And her mother was so far gone, she was unrecognizable. Her sister Denise continued to collect baby daddies like food stamps and popped up babies of every nationality. I guess that was her way of contributing to the improvement of racial relations. Simply put, Sissy didn't have any standards by which to judge her own actions by. She had no shame. And on any given day, that bets me right or wrong. At least I'm not afraid to be who I am. It's 1998 and you still in the closet, she sneered at me. And however long or dramatic her temper tantrums were, I never relented, which only infuriated her more. Oh, I'm not just in the closet. I'm behind some winter coats, dressed in a snowsuit while hanging upside down like a bat, I told her. She wasn't amused. She never was when it came to her needs. If I'm good enough to sleep with at night, I'm good enough to be with. And if you're good enough to be with, you're good enough to know the truth. And how you live with that truth is your option, your choice. Stop acting like a victim, I told her. Get down from the cross. Christ needs the room.